Today we're going to be talking about how to adapt a toy to make it switch activated. In today's tutorial we're going to have multiple different toys, but we're going to start first with this bubble blowing toy. This is really a toy. This method is really for any toy that is plastic with a simple on-off switch. So you can get any plastic toy. As you see, it's still here in the box, and it's going to have just a simple on and off switch that typically a kid would have to turn on, or a parent would have to turn on in the back with their fine motor, with their finger. Next, what you'll need is a 3.5 female repair audio cable. You can buy these online and they generally run anywhere from 10 to 50 cents a piece. And you'll also need just a basic zip cord. Then you'll need several couplers. These also are available online. They usually come in packs of anywhere from 10 to 100, so the price varies depending on the size of the pack you buy. Then I recommend a bowl container to just keep your bits and bobs of pieces so that they don't get lost. You'll also need some sort of wire stripper and coupler crimper. This is one that does both. Then you will likely need a screwdriver set to take care of these tiny screws that come on all children's toys these days. You also will need either electrical tape or double-sided tape or masking tape, painter's tape, whatever your preference is. You'll see where it's needed down the line. And in this case, since it is a plastic toy, you will need a drill as well. And if you don't have a drill, a hot nail or a hot screw can also work. All right, let's get to the project now. So at this point I have deboxed it and I've taken out the screws. And so at this point it just looks like this. I need to take out all these screws here on the side so I can access all the cables on the inside of this toy. I have loosened up all of these screws and I'm going to gently jiggle it apart, and you'll see the inside motor and wires are exposed. I'm going to collect all of the screws and put them in my bits and bobs container just so they don't get lost, so I can reattach them later. At this time, I'm going to come up here to the on-off switch and I'm going to just see where these wires are attached, and this is where I am going to just use my wire cutters, which are on the back of this multi-tool, and I'm going to make a snip right there. Now the next part here is you have to strip all 4 of these wires. Hardest part is determining what gauge these are. I'm going to guess these are a 20 gauge, and that's just based off of personal experience. If it cuts through the wire, that means it's too big and you actually want to go down. And the way wire gauging works is you actually will need to go up a number. So if I cut it here, I'm going to go to a 16 instead, or an 18 instead. It's going to do just a little thing to test it. Nope, that looks pretty good. So here I'm at the 20, and I have found it's easiest if you pull it at an angle like that. And you'll see I've got a nice little exposed part there. So I'm just going to repeat that for the next 3 wires here. I'm going to grab the female audio jack here, and you'll see I've got the ends are kind of stripped there already, but I want to get just a little bit more, so I'm going to strip them off a little bit longer. All right, go ahead. Now I got to decide where this wire is going to be coming out, and usually generally somewhere around the original on off switch is a pretty good place. So maybe somewhere right around there. And that's looking pretty good. That looks like it's going to come out of there without needing to do any drilling. So yay, this one is not going to require any drill. Perfect. So we're going to leave that in there for right now. Okay. And now what we're going to do is combine these wires together. So what we're going to do now is basically we're going to take these wires that we cut apart and we're basically going to reattach them, but we're going to reattach them to one of the wires from the audio jack. So essentially you are going to have 3 cables here, or wires, all together. I find it helpful if you kind of twist the wires at the end together so that they're, and you can kind of move them around as much as you want. And then you're going to take one of these couplers. Some couplers you buy are going to be dual-sided, and meaning that they're open on both ends, and those will work. These ones that I have here are single-sided, so it will only go in one end. So I'm pushing it in, and I'm going to push it in as far as I basically can. So now we got all 3 in there. And then I use the front of this multi-tool, it's the flat part, and all I'm going to do is squeeze it together towards the front. Give it a good couple of squeezes. And I'm going to pull on it to make sure it's tight. Then I'm just going to repeat for the remaining wires. So now what we're going to do is take the zip tie here and put it kind of right on the, somewhere on this jack, female jack on the inside here, and kind of pull it taut. The idea around this is so it can't pull through the toy, and so it won't pull the couplings off. So I'm just going to cut off the excess right now. And now all that's left to do is put it together. I forgot to mention, you should always, at this point, put the batteries in to make sure it is working. So, and so you here see the fan going, so that means you have connected it right. It's good to go. So now at this point, I am going to close it up. We have the finished product. I have put it all together. The batteries are in it. So this toy, which previously could only be turned on and off with this button back here, can now be turned on and off with this switch, or any switch, like that. So let's have some fun. And thank you for joining me today with our tutorial on how to adapt a toy. Thank you.